Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel today, where we are taking a look at Britt Assombalonga's move to Middlesbrough. The move was completed yesterday, the 17th of July, for a reported £14 million, exceeding the previous highest fee paid by Middlesbrough for Alfonso Alves back in January 2008. It's believed that Forest had their buyout clause met in the contract of Britt Assombalonga by Middlesbrough. So we're just going to go ahead and simulate via Football Manager 2017 just how good or how bad Britt Assombalonga gets on in his new surroundings. First of all, we're going to take a look at his profile, which, as you can see here, we've moved him across from Nottingham Forest for £14 million there. Let's have a look at his profile. So as we can see here, he's a fully rolled complete forward. He can also play as an advanced forward, a poacher, a trek artiste, defensive forward. I mean, he's quite versatile, really, in a variety of different attacking positions. He can also double up as a winger or a Ramdeuter if needs be. So what we're going to do is we're going to sim a year into the future, and we're going to come back and we're going to see if he can get in the squad for starters. Because, I mean, if we look at this squad here, they've got the likes of Gaston Ramirez, Martin Braithwaite, Rudy Gested, Patrick Bamford, Christian Stuani, various others. So if he gets in the squad, and also how he gets on if he does so. So we're going to go a year into the future now under Gary Monk, see how Middlesbrough get on. Do they get promoted back to the Premiership at the first time of asking? Does Britt Assombalonga have any effect in that? We're about to find out. So welcome back then. We've advanced a year into the future here on this experiment here for Britt Assombalonga. Now, the guy who scored 14 goals in 33 games last season for Nottingham Forest after suffering a near career-threatening injury. Let's see how he's got on under his new surroundings at Middlesbrough. First of all, see how Middlesbrough have got on in the league. So as we can see here, Fulham have beaten Wolves in the playoff finals, and Middlesbrough have gone and won the league by 15 points in total over Ipswich. Aston Villa in third, with Fulham getting the third and final promotion spot up to the Premier League. Now let's have a look at Middlesbrough in the squad. And as we can see in front of us, Britt Assombalonga has scored 24 goals in 25 games. Fantastic performance. 3 man-of-the-match performances, an average rating in his last 5 games of 8.0, a 7.17 rating overall, and a value now of 13 million. He has been a great buy for Middlesbrough, as has Martin Braithwaite, really, from Toulouse. But Assombalonga really putting the ball in the back of the net there. 24 goals in 25 games, with a few sub-appearances as well chucked in. Looking at his stats, he seems to have been roughly about the same. A couple of improvements in there as well. But he's definitely done the business for Middlesbrough. A total of 41 games overall with his sub-appearances in the Championship. 22 goals coming from that. He's also got a couple of goals in the FA Cup. I think he's done really well there, to be honest. Let's have a look at a few of the stats. So delving a little bit deeper into the stats here of Britt Assombalonga in that season he's had at Middlesbrough. And as we can see here, that he hasn't scored any goals from penalties. He hasn't taken any penalties either. And all of his goals have come from open play. An average of 110 minutes on the pitch per goal. He's on target 53% of his shots from 129. He's got 68 of which were on target. 24 goals in total. Of the 45 matches he's played, he's won 29 of them, which is a really good return there for Middlesbrough. They've won pretty much most of their matches when Britt Assombalonga has been involved. His best rating was a 7.19 rating. His worst was a 7.0 rating. Distance covered of 211 kilometres. 7.2 kilometres per 90 minutes. He's completed 55% of his passes, 687 passes in total, with 375 of them succeeded. He's had an average of 2.32 shots on target per game, and an average of 2.76 dribbles per game. So, I mean, this is a really good output here from Britt Assombalonga, and if this is to be believed, then he's going to have a really good impact on Middlesbrough this season coming up. For £14 million, he looks like a really good buy. And what we're going to do now is we're going to go another year into the future, check out how he gets on in the Premier League in that higher level of competition, and see if he can continue to score goals for Middlesbrough at the highest level. Okay then, so we've skipped another year into the future here on this Football Manager 2017 experiment with Britt Assombalonga at Middlesbrough, and it looks like Middlesbrough have really performed well here in the Premier League on their first attempt. They've got 54 points from 38 games. It is the end of the Premier League season. They've finished only 25 points behind Manchester United and some 22 points clear of Watford, who were relegated along with Fulham and Ipswich. So it's a really good return, this is for Middlesbrough in their first attempt. Let's go into the league table and have a look. So they finish in 9th. They've picked up 53 goals for, 53 goals against, so a 0 goal difference. Pretty good return that. I kind of expect them to be a lot nearer to the relegation zone. Let's go into the squad and have a look. Gary Monk is still the manager. He's done a fantastic job there with Middlesbrough since taking over. In the Premier League then, we have got, well, Britt Assombalonga didn't really play much this season. They brought in Moussa Dembele, who scored 13 in 40. Let's have a look at Britt Assombalonga. He's only played 1 game, but has scored 4 goals. He did have 16 sub-appearances, though. So obviously, a good deal of them would have come from that. So, I mean, he's not quite a Premiership player just yet with them. But he has scored 24 goals in 55 games for Middlesbrough. Let's have a quick look at the stats. Here we can see we had 4 goals. He had 158 minutes on the pitch per goal. They won 5 of the 19 matches where Britt Assombalonga was involved in. 2 shots on target per game, 2.71 dribbles made per game, 57% passing accuracy, succeeded passes from 183 passes, he succeeded with 105. Shots on target, 45%. Now that isn't brilliant. I think that could be improved upon. I think perhaps if there was a human manager involved, they could definitely work on that. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that was a really positive move though for Middlesbrough. He's still valued at £12 million. He's not really getting the games, but then again, they have bought in Moussa Dembele. Let's have a look at how much they bought him in for. So they bought him in from Celtic for £5.25 million, and he's done quite well since he's come into this Middlesbrough team. They've also got Ricardo Kishner, who scored 8 in 35. There's a few players that are scoring bits and bobs and stuff. Mario Pasalic and a few other guys in there. So yeah, Britt Assombalonga, a really, really good purchase to get them back into the Premier League, where they have finished 9th at the first attempt. But he didn't really feature much in that season, so we can't really comment too much on that. But I think overall, £40 million to get Middlesbrough back into the Premier League is money well spent. And if you can have that sort of impact on Middlesbrough in real life next season, as he did here on Football Manager, then I think Middlesbrough are in for a very good season under Gary Monk. That is the end of today's experiment, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this. Check back on the channel for further experiments. We've done a few already with the likes of Thomas Christiansen at Leeds, Kelechi Iheanacho at Leicester City, and various others. We've also got a career save going on with Steaua Bucharest, where we're in the semi-finals of the Champions League. The next episode of that will be released tomorrow, where we're playing Manchester City, so do check that out. That is on the channel at the moment. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed this, guys. Leave a like on the video down below, share it on social media if you've enjoyed it, and any comments that you may have, drop them in the comment section down below and I'll reply to them as soon as possible. So yeah, thanks for watching, guys. Catch you again soon.